You keep calling yourself lazy. You beat yourself up for not doing enough. But what if you're not lazy at all? What if you're just addicted to feeling safe? Think about it. Every time you plan to change your life, to start something big, something inside you whispers, "Not today." You call it procrastination, but it's actually protection. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your life, it's trying to keep you safe. But here's the twist: the same safety that protects you is also what's keeping you stuck. We live in a world where comfort is everywhere. You can order food without moving, scroll endlessly and feel productive doing nothing, get small hits of dopamine every few seconds. It feels safe. It feels good. But slowly, it's stealing your drive. You tell yourself you'll start when you feel ready, but that day never comes. Because ready is just another word for comfortable. And growth never feels comfortable. Let's break this down. First, your brain hates uncertainty. It's built for survival, not success. When something feels new or risky, starting a business, going to the gym, speaking up, changing routines, your brain treats it as danger. So what does it do? It pulls you back. It makes you scroll, rest, overthink, anything that feels safe. You say, "I'll do it later." But really, you're just trying to escape discomfort. Here's a truth that hurts. Laziness isn't the opposite of ambition, comfort is. You're not avoiding work, you're avoiding fear. Second, safety gives you short-term peace but long-term pain. Every time you choose safety, you get a small relief. You skip the gym, relief. You don't study, relief. You stay quiet instead of taking action, relief. But that relief builds regret. And regret is far heavier than fear. Imagine standing in the same place a year from now, nothing's changed. Same habits, same worries, same goals on paper. That's the price of safety. Third, your comfort zone expands only when you leave it. You can't think your way into growth. You have to act your way there. Remember when you first learned to drive, or spoke in public, or went to a new place alone? You were terrified, but you did it anyway, and suddenly, it became normal. That's how you rewire your brain. You teach it that discomfort isn't danger. It's just a sign you're growing. So here's a challenge. Start doing one uncomfortable thing every day. Not huge, not heroic. Just small steps that make your brain sweat a little. Send that message. Take that cold shower. Speak up in that meeting. Every small act of courage builds proof that you don't need safety to survive. Fourth, stop waiting for motivation. Motivation isn't what gets you started, it's what shows up after you start. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. And confidence kills fear. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start while you're scared. That's the secret nobody tells you. You'll never eliminate fear, but you can train your brain to walk with it. And that's how you escape the trap of false safety. Because here's the thing, your comfort zone is shrinking your life. Every time you choose it, your world gets smaller. But every time you step beyond it, your world gets bigger, and so do you. You're not lazy, you're protecting yourself. But now, you know better. Safety has a cost. And the longer you stay there, the more it takes from you, your dreams, your energy, your future. So stop calling yourself lazy. Start seeing your fear for what it really is, a compass pointing toward growth. If it scares you, it's probably exactly what you need to do. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You just need to stop choosing safety over purpose. Because the life you want isn't found where you feel safe, it's found right past that fear you keep avoiding. So today, take one step. Send that email. Start that project. Speak that truth. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Remember this. Comfort will keep you alive, but courage will make you feel alive. If this hit you, don't just scroll away. Take 10 seconds. Think of one thing you've been avoiding, and do it today. Then comment below. I'm done feeling safe. Because once you say it, you start living it. And if you want more videos that wake you up, subscribe, share this with someone who needs it, and keep growing. Because your comfort zone isn't your home, it's your cage. And it's time to break out. You've been told your whole life that success is about discipline, willpower, or working harder. But the truth is, it's about courage. Courage to face what's uncomfortable. Courage to sit with fear and do the thing anyway. Because the difference between who you are now and who you want to be is how much discomfort you can handle without running back to safe. Let's go even deeper. You think you're lazy because you keep putting things off. You think you lack drive because you keep finding distractions. But look closer. You do take action, just not on the things that scare you. You'll clean your room, scroll social media, binge another self-improvement video. That's not laziness, that's avoidance disguised as productivity. Your brain is tricking you. It's saying, look, you're doing something. You're busy. But that busyness is just your brain's way of hiding from the real work, the uncomfortable work that actually moves your life forward. And that's why most people stay stuck. Because they don't realize that fear doesn't mean stop. It means go. When your stomach twists, when your chest tightens, that's not danger, that's energy. That's your body telling you, something meaningful is right here. But we've been trained to back away from it. Think about this. Every big moment in your life, every breakthrough, every transformation, came after something scary. You took a risk. You stepped up. You walked into the unknown. And even if it didn't go perfectly, it changed you. So why do we keep running back to safe? Because safety is predictable. You know how it feels. You know the pain of comfort, but you're familiar with it. It's a pain you can control. Growth, on the other hand, is unpredictable. It doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee comfort. But it does guarantee change. And change, that's where your power lives. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices. Protect your comfort or protect your potential. You can't have both. Because if you protect your comfort, you slowly lose your potential. But if you protect your potential, your comfort has to die. Let me tell you something powerful. Your brain doesn't grow when you're comfortable. It grows when it's challenged. Your muscles don't grow when you rest. They grow when they're stretched and torn. Your confidence doesn't grow when you avoid fear. It grows when you face it and realize you're still standing. You don't need to be fearless. That's impossible. You just need to be brave for 5 seconds. 5 seconds to say yes instead of overthinking. 5 seconds to start before you're ready. 5 seconds to walk toward the thing that scares you. And here's the magic, once you start, fear loses its power. Because fear feeds on waiting. It grows in hesitation. The longer you think, the stronger it gets. But the second you move, it dies. That's why action, no matter how small, is the cure for fear. So if you've been calling yourself lazy, stop. You don't need to fix your motivation. You need to challenge your comfort. Because motivation comes after motion. Here's a quick test. If something feels easy, safe, predictable, it's keeping you where you are. If something feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and a little scary, that's your path forward. Start living with this rule. If it feels safe, question it. If it feels scary, try it. That's how you rewire your life. One uncomfortable action at a time. One brave choice at a time. Soon, your brain starts to adapt. It stops panicking when things feel new. It starts to trust you. It starts to believe, we can handle this. And that belief, that's the foundation of self-confidence. Because confidence isn't built by feeling ready. It's built by proving to yourself that you can survive discomfort. So when you're about to do something scary, remember this. Your brain is not your enemy. It's just trying to protect you. Thank it, smile at it, and then say, we're safe, but we're doing it anyway. That's how you break the cycle. That's how you stop living small. That's how you stop being addicted to safety. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You've just been listening to the wrong signal. Fear isn't the stop sign. It's the green light. So take a deep breath and step forward. Not because it's easy, but because you've stayed safe long enough. If this spoke to you, pause for a second. Don't just nod and scroll away. Write down one thing you've been avoiding, just one, and do something about it today. Then come back and comment, I choose courage. Because once you decide that, everything else starts to shift. And if you want more videos like this, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to wake up from the comfort trap. Remember, comfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. So stop hiding behind safety. You were made for more, and it's time to prove it. You've spent years trying to fix yourself, telling yourself that you'll change when you finally feel motivated, confident, or ready. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That day will never come. Because waiting to feel ready is just another form of hiding. And you've probably gotten really good at it. You've mastered the art of preparation, making lists, setting goals, watching motivational videos. But you never cross that invisible line, the line between thinking and doing. And every time you stop short of that line, your brain rewards you with a small hit of comfort. It whispers, "Good job. You avoided pain today," but that small reward? It's poison disguised as peace. Every time you pick safety over growth, you tell your brain, "This is who I am." Someone who avoids, someone who stays small. And your brain listens. It adapts. It builds walls instead of bridges. So now, even when you want to change, your mind resists. You've trained it that way. But here's the good news. What's learned can be unlearned. Let's go deeper. There are two versions of you inside your head right now. One wants comfort, the other wants meaning, and every decision you make feeds one and starves the other. When you hit snooze, when you scroll, when you delay that dream, you're feeding comfort. But when you take action despite fear, when you show up tired, nervous, unprepared, you're feeding meaning. You're building something deeper than motivation. You're building identity, and identity is stronger than willpower. You see, you don't need more discipline. You need a new story about who you are. Stop saying, "I'm lazy." Start saying, "I'm learning to act even when I'm afraid." Because every time you label yourself lazy, you make it true. But every time you choose discomfort, you start rewriting that story. You want to know the real reason successful people seem unstoppable? It's not because they're fearless. It's because they've made peace with fear. They've stopped expecting comfort. They've accepted that growth feels messy, awkward, painful, and they show up anyway. They've learned that fear isn't a sign to stop, it's a sign they're in the right direction. Think about that. You've been treating fear like a wall. But what if it's a doorway? A doorway that only opens for people brave enough to knock. You're not lazy, you're scared. You're scared of failing, scared of being judged, scared that even if you try your hardest, it still won't be enough. But let me ask you this. What's worse, failing, or never finding out what you could have been? Because failure hurts for a moment. Regret hurts forever. There's a version of you, strong, confident, unstoppable, but you'll never meet them if you keep choosing safety. That version of you only shows up when you take risks, when you get uncomfortable, when you walk into fear and say, "Let's do this." You want to stop feeling lazy? Then stop running from fear. Because fear is your teacher. It's trying to show you where you need to grow. Start small. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Just do one uncomfortable thing each day. And when that voice in your head says, "Stay safe," smile and do it anyway. Every time you do that, your comfort zone shrinks and your confidence expands. Every time you push through fear, you build proof that you can handle more. And slowly, you'll notice something powerful. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting. You start trusting yourself. That's what real growth feels like. Not fireworks. Not instant success. Just quiet confidence. The kind that comes from facing fear and realizing it didn't destroy you. So the next time you catch yourself scrolling instead of starting, ask yourself, am I being lazy, or am I choosing safe? And then choose differently. Choose action. Choose fear. Choose growth. Because nothing changes until you do. You've been comfortable for too long. You've played small to avoid pain. But here's the truth. Pain is the path. Discomfort is the doorway. And courage is the key. So right now, make a decision. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Decide that you're done feeling safe. Decide that from this moment, you'll act first and think later. Decide that you'll trust the part of you that wants to grow, not the part that wants to hide. Say it with me. I'm not lazy, I'm done feeling safe. Because once you say it, and mean it, you'll start to feel something new, momentum, energy, freedom. That's what happens when you stop letting fear drive. So take the wheel. Start now. Your future self is watching, and they're begging you not to waste another day feeling safe. If this message hit home, share it with someone who needs it. Because there are millions of people just like you, trapped in comfort, calling it laziness. And one small reminder, one spark of courage, can change everything. Hit like, leave a comment, I choose courage, and subscribe, not just for motivation, but for the truth that wakes you up. Because remember, your comfort zone may feel warm, but nothing grows there. Step out, step up, and finally, live.